beautiful day here at Kevara Farm, as you can see, and today I want to tell you how I have managed to keep my production here at Kevara Farm high and using organic materials. I use onions, I use guava leaves, and then I use a combination of pumpkin leaves and ginger, because when you use pumpkin leaves and then ginger, the production increases, and then at the same time the eggs come out when they are big. And when you use only the pumpkin, you get higher percentages of production, but the eggs come out small. So me, I use a combination of ginger and then pumpkin leaves, and then also I use charcoal. But before I tell you how to use all these things, let me first take you to my first chicken house, whereby I'm having 800 birds, because those birds are old. They are around 70 weeks. But I want to tell you that because of all the things which I'm using, I'm still producing at 85%, and that is a very good percentage of production. So let me first take you and then we see. So as you can see, on the entrance we have this trough, which is having a disinfectant. Biosecurity is key, so you have to make sure that you have a disinfectant and you disinfect before you enter all your chicken houses. So guys, as you can see, now we are inside this chicken house, and whenever I'm showing you this, I always want us to see how my chicken house is clean. Like people who are always complaining that their birds are suffering from the cough, the recurring cough. I want to tell you that when your chicken house is clean, you will never face a challenge of cough at your farm. I have come to discover that, because when you take a look, you can see that down is completely dry. You see that my litter is completely dry, and then my drinkers are clean, because every day we clean them. That is the cleanliness that we always talk about. So you can see, if you can sit down, the chicken house is completely dry. And when your litter is dry, you never face any challenge of cough at your farm. So this flock, as you can see, the birds are old. You can see they've started losing their feathers. If you can compare with the other bunch, because I have two bunches here at the farm. So this one is aging, it's more than a year, it is 70 weeks. But I want to tell you that the eggs are coming out. I'm still producing at 85%, and it is all because of the things which I use, because I'm going to give you a schedule on how I use them. Yeah, and inside this chicken house, I have 800 birds. You can see, and then I partitioned. When you can see there, I separated. There are other birds which are there. It is good to separate your chicken house, to separate the flock. It helps to increase production. And recently I had a problem of cannibalism. And I almost sold my birds. But then I introduced, every evening I put cocoyams to make these birds busy. Because in the evening, when they don't have something to eat, when they don't have anything to eat, that is when they develop those habits. So in the evening, I put the cocoyams, all these threads that you're seeing, these ones, those ones which are hanging, that is where we hang our yam leaves in the evening, and then the birds become busy eating the leaves, and then the cases of cannibalism have actually reduced. They have reduced. And as when you see my water today we are you can see in the drinker, the water is black. Today these birds are drinking charcoal. You can see even that one. Yeah. And then if you can see, I put up a temporary structure. You can see it's there. of only timber. In this structure, I'm going to bring in more local birds, and you can see it's a very simple structure, and I haven't put any money on this because we this wood, that this timber that we have used, as you can see from some sites, so I brought it here to be used as firewood. So it is only remaining with the roof. Then down, you can see here I'm going to put the coffee hussicks here, and then I bring in more local birds. Birds I've been having 30, as you already see them in my background, and the goal for these local birds is to sell them during the festive season. So in the other house, I want to bring in more local birds. But the major content of today, I want to tell you how I use the local remedies to increase production here at Kevara Farm. First of all, the onions, and I've not talked about the onions. At least I've talked about all the other herbal remedies, how to use the pumpkin leaves, how to use ginger and the guava leaves and charcoal, but I've not talked about the onions. These onions have very many benefits to our chicken. First of all, they have a great scent, they have a great aroma, and when you give them to the birds eat a lot of food. And then if you put it in water, they drink a lot of water, which helps them to give you many and many eggs. And then another benefit of these onions, they help to improve the immunity of these birds. One of the benefits these herbal remedies do to our birds, they boost their immunity. When you're using these herbal remedies, in most cases, you don't face the challenge of diseases at your farm. Ever since I started using these herbal remedies, I've not faced any challenge of diseases here at this farm. And the only thing that I do is increase in production, then big eggs, and then also the yellow yolk. And you know, most people like the yellow yolk because they believe that those eggs are organic, and which is true, because when we are using these local eggs, it makes our products organic. Even the eggs, because you're not using a lot of antibiotics, a lot of medicine, which keeps the products organic. And then another benefit of these onions to our chicken. Onions contain compounds that can help improve the absorption of nutrients from the feeds. When you're giving the onions, those compounds which are contained in those onions, they help to improve the absorption, meaning the biggest percentage of feed is not gone to waste, is put into use, hence giving you many eggs. And then another benefit of onions to our chicken, it detoxifies the liver of the chicken. Because of feeding on a lot of brand, in most cases, the brand that we give to our chicken is not of good quality. So because of that, you find that there is a lot of poison in the brand which we give to the birds. And then sometimes we give brand which is molded. And so when you're giving the onions to your chicken, it helps to detoxify the liver. And when the liver is okay, then these birds are okay. They keep on giving you the eggs. And then another benefit, it improves on the growth and weight gain. In most cases, if you're having broilers, because weight is very important. Even in layers, when your birds are having a lot of weight, that is when they give you eggs. And then also when you're off-laying your birds, the birds which are having weight are most marketable on the market than the birds which are not weighing many kilograms. And then also it helps in curing the respiratory diseases. The respiratory diseases like the cough, when the birds are suffering from cough, and you give these onions, your birds are going to get healed very fast. Like we all know, during the COVID, we took a lot of ginger, onions, and then garlic. We would make a concoction and then drink. The same way we did to cure the respiratory disease, which was flu. It is the same way it can be useful to these birds. So please, I want to encourage all of us farmers to start using these herbal remedies. I have seen many advantages of using these herbal remedies. So I want to encourage all of us to embrace the use of these organic materials. We are not going to regret. We are going to see the change at our farms in everything. Production, no diseases, no spending a lot of money. Yeah. So now let's talk about how to use the rest of the herbal remedies, all these. Here at the farm, I've made a timetable on how to give these herbal remedies. For example, the onions, I give them for 3 days to the birds. These onions are not very expensive. They are available in all the local markets, all the markets. So you can find these onions at a cheaper price. And then also if you have space, because we always have a lot of manure, you can plant these onions for yourself. So here at the farm, I give onions for 3 days. And then I give guava leaves for 3 days. For guava leaves, I don't boil them. I just blend them. You can blend, or at the same time you can pound. You put in a sack and then pound, then mix in water, and then I give those guava leaves for 3 days. And then after 3 days I introduce the pumpkin. But for pumpkin, if you give pumpkin leaves only, you're going to get many eggs, but you're going to get small eggs. So if you want to get many eggs at the same time big, you mix them with ginger. That is what I have discovered here, and that is what I do. So when I give pumpkin leaves and then ginger, I get many eggs at the same time, big eggs. So I also give them for 3 days. And then after 3 days, I give charcoal in water. I also give for 3 days. And then after those 3 days, I go back to onions. And this one has helped me here. It has improved on the production here. And like this time, it's a rainy season. And we know during the rainy season, the production always go low. But I want to tell you that because of that I'm using, I'm not facing that challenge that maybe it's because of the rainy season and the birds have cut. No, because today is a day of giving charcoal, so it's not the day for giving the onions. These are just for demonstration. I want to show you how you prepare and then administer to the chicken. But you have to make sure that if it's the day for giving onions, you buy enough onions according to the number of chicken that you have at your farm. So I just want to show you how you can prepare this. So this you can decide to give it as it is. You put in the feeders and then they feed. And then from this you can as well blend it, especially for those who are having many birds. Like for me here, I have 2,300 chicken. So those are many birds, and we give them at once because there are 2 chicken houses, and I normally blend these onions and get the juice. And in every drinker I put 1 cup, 1 plastic cup. But now for those who don't have many chicken, you can just cut like this, and then you put in their feeders like I'm going to show you. Those birds will run and fight for these onions. So now let me go and show you how we give this. So this is another chicken house, and in this chicken house I'm having 1,500 birds. And just like I have told you, today is a day for giving charcoal. So you can see even in this chicken house I'm giving charcoal. You can see that the water is black, and I'm going to give this charcoal for 3 days. I make sure that my chicken are always taking something organic, herbal, and that has helped me. So now this is how you can give these onions. You can see how they are fighting for the onions. So please farmers, if you want to be successful in this business, please make sure that you put in some effort. You put in an effort to make sure that your birds are okay, and at the same time to make sure that they are giving you eggs, that you're getting eggs, because what we aim at in this business is the production, the eggs, because it is from the eggs where we get the money. So with this information, I hope all of us are going to benefit. Please subscribe to this channel if you're new. Be sure that you're going to get all the knowledge, all the information about poultry farming. And don't forget to like and share the video. And please tell me where you're watching me from. And don't hesitate to ask me about anything. I'm willing to answer you. So thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. Let me see you in my next video.
Hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the